Welcome to Bill and Rob's An Excellent Adventure. I'm Bill Tilley.
I'm Rob Schulte. Bill, it's a new era of podcasting.
The sun has risen on the podcast world, and two beams of light by the name of Bill and Rob's are going to shine down on some wonderful movies that we are going to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Movies, TV, whatever sparks our fancy, because, well, let's just get into it. You know, this is not your... This ain't your daddy's trailer to a podcast, Bill. It might be your daddy's favorite film, but first of all, I need to stop saying daddy so much. We had this idea for a podcast, but it sprung out of a different idea for a podcast. Can you help guide our audience in what has happened over these past few months?
It most definitely did, Rob, much like the show that this comes from. The germ for Excellent Adventure sprang from the chest of Pumpkin Spice Podcast, like the alien. Aliens, we were watching some movies and we had decided that we were going to revive for a new season of that. But once we got started, it took us down a different road, a different aisle of the VHS store, you might say.
Yes. Yeah. It's like we're visiting Blockbuster or Hollywood Video. And you just said, "Hey, Rob, I know you're in the horror section, but what if we went over here to behind this beaded curtain?" And I was like, "Hang on, we're not there quite yet."
Well, you don't want to start out with the beaded curtain. You work up to that. Make sure nobody's looking when you go through the door.
Yeah, we wanted to revive Pumpkin Spice. And of course, some episodes will still live in a Pumpkin Spice feed. But we evolved as podcasters, Bill. And we're true beings of pure energy at this point.
Exactly.
Like your sunbeam theory at the beginning of this pod. We realized that when we were following the Predator series, which will be the first franchise we cover, we'll get to the details in a moment, audience. It became more than talking about horror. It became talking about when these films were made, why they were made, why Alien versus Predator is so different than Aliens versus Predator: Requiem, why Adrian Brody is in a Predator film, where is Arnold this whole time. The moment we decided that we were going to kind of splinter off and create this new feed, you were like, "Well, Rob, we might want to watch some non-Predator films that kind of feel like Predator as well."
Yeah, I mean, just like that, Rob. The real thing is we got to watching some stuff, and you and I like to watch things together, and we like all kinds of movies. And what this generally turned into was something that was so much fun, we could not contain it just to the horror genre. Yeah. We just knew we wanted to keep doing this in a lot of different ways, so we decided, hey, let's run with this one, and then we're going to do some future seasons that are themed, but, well, loosely themed, maybe some a little more tight than others, but wherever the motivation takes us down the aisles of our VHS stores of our minds, that's where we're going to go with this, because we just have a blast doing it.
Yeah, I think you make an excellent point, because as we were developing the new idea, it became crucial to us that we didn't want to put undue pressure on ourselves, right? Like, we want to have fun and we want to keep it fun. So that means watching all these Predator films is fun. Watching movies like Robo War or The Eliminators is fun.
Exactly. It's easy to hatch onto the big stuff, but I think that's part of what I bring to the table when we do this. I'm a little bit older than you, Rob, so I'm used to very Z-list movies. I'm used to the late night USA Up All Night runs. You get stuck with a lot of these movies when they were new, but let's face facts. Movies are supposed to be fun. They're either fun because they're good, or they're fun because you watch them and you find a way to have fun. And there are a lot of negative review shows, a lot of negative recap shows out there in the world, people that make their living on just blowing something out of the water. And while we are not defenders of things that are bad, we can definitely show people through this new show that just the movie experience, the TV experience, the shared media experience can be fun, even when what you're watching is not really that good.
Yeah, absolutely. So on top of that, we have made a slew of back catalog. We've talked about Predator. We've talked about that we're going to have a few other films in there as well. We're going to start off with one-offs as we lead up to our Predator series. And then we might take a couple weeks off, work on a new themed series of episodes. I know you've got a couple of ideas if you want to bring it up here shortly. But then we'll work on a new themed series. We might even do an episode of like Baywatch Nights, or maybe an episode of Knight Rider, or maybe something not even Hasselhoff related. I'm not sure. The freedom of Bill and Rob's An Excellent Adventure is that it is an excellent adventure.
It is indeed. And it is indeed going to involve the Hoff. Let's just put that out there right now, because all things should. Maybe one of our themes is cars that kill. Maybe one of our themes for our show is Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?, where we get siblings of famous people instead of those actual people. There's no end to the things that we can come up with, because that was the fun of going to the video store. That was the fun of flipping channels back in the days of landing on a thing and going, ooh, what's this? Let's take a look. And that's what we're going to do. And hopefully everybody that follows along with us will have just as excellent a time as we do.
Absolutely. And Bill, I think I should point out that anyone can contact us and suggest what they would like us to watch through social media, through the links in the show description, and through anywhere that you know how to be like, Bill, Robs, you must watch X, Y, or Z.
Please do, everybody, because one of the best things about watching stuff and having a good time with it is going to your buddies and going, you have got to see this for one reason or the other. So we take any and all suggestions. We will pick and choose what we can. Lord knows Rob and I have our own list of things that we are more than happy to plow through, which could keep us busy into the next couple of decades, but we are always willing to listen to your suggestions.
And Bill, we should just put it out there. Most of the people that listen to our podcast are going to be friends of DeSoto, right? They're going to be people that have seen us in that Star Trek kind of realm, in that world. They know how to help. Like from the Greatest Trek Discord, Draxium and Dr. Z wrote our theme song. It's incredible.
It is incredible. And the fact that we have theme music written by someone called Dr. Z thrills me to no end.
And Draxium, I mean, come on.
We asked them to jam, and jam they did.
100%. So when you're rocking out the theme song to Bill and Rob's An Excellent Adventure, remember to visit those Bandcamp links that are in our description as well, and show some love to everyone who's showed us love, because we couldn't do it without incredible people like that. Now, Bill, obviously people need to subscribe to the podcast. Positive ratings are helpful, but the biggest thing they can do is tell 2 friends.
Share the show. We say all the time on our show, we don't have fans, we have friends. Tell your friends, get the word out there. If you're a fan of our work from Greatest Trek, or you could follow us because you're a fan of Rob's work. He's done a ton of things. If you know him from Vanderpump Robs or Madrigal at the Movies, the old Pumpkin Spice fans, believe me, if you like that show, we're coming down with some stuff for you that you will enjoy.
It's Bill and Rob's An Excellent Adventure, a podcast that can be found wherever you listen to podcasts. Bill, this has been excellent. We'll be live with brand new episodes very, very soon, and I'm looking forward to it.
So am I, Rob. It's going to be amazing.